Hi guys, Peter Sun here from renovateandsell.com. Now today I want to talk about giving a couple of tips about whether you or not can afford to renovate and buy a property. Obviously before you get started it's important that you do a financial feasibility on whether or not you can actually complete the project, because there's no point being able to buy the property if you haven't got the money to then renovate it, and of course you still need money for marketing and the selling of the property. So the first thing is, do your due diligence, do your sums. You've got to cover your legal costs, you've got to cover your stamp duties, you've got to cover your agent selling costs, then you need a renovation cost. So do your numbers before you get into a project. Know what your budget is, right? If your budget is $10,000, then you work to that budget. If your budget is more, you work to that. Even if you have no money though, you can actually do the renovation business, and I'll tell you how. You simply find an investor who puts the money in while you do all the work, and then you split the profit 50-50. I've done that in a couple of my deals where I actually paid somebody else to do all the work and I used my money to work for me. And you know what? It was a great win for me because I had to do nothing except put the money in and sign a few papers. So don't give up if you don't have the cash, but do your feasibility study first. Remember, there is costs of buying the house, there's costs of selling the house. Right? So you got number one, buying, number two is selling, and there's also the renovation cost in the middle, right? So make sure you cover them all and stick within your budget, right? Don't take on too big a job to start off with. So that's my tip number one, do your feasibility study. The second tip is never buy property, right, unless you form a company as well if you're doing this as a business. Obviously, company protects you from personal liability. In this business, anything can happen. Builder can get hurt, people can get hurt in your house. Right, so protect yourself by having your houses in a company name and having the right insurances in place. It is really important. Now, having said that, if you don't have the money to start off with, then obviously nobody's going to sue you if you're broke. So it becomes more relevant when you have money, but make sure that you seek legal advice on these things, because that's something you actually do have to see your accounting or legal advisor about. So that's our tip number two. And number three is, guys, there's lots of ugly properties. Just go and have a look around. Drive around the streets and have a look how many properties there are that are run down, that are in absolute need of somebody who's going to come in there, do a couple of cosmetic changes and make a huge profit on them. Every street has them. Remember, pick usually the worst house in the best street. Don't go for the streets where the market, where you're going to overcapitalize. So that's our tips for the day, and I'll see you on the next video.
If you would like to discover the easiest and fastest way to find, renovate and sell for profit, head over to my website now for a free 30-day video training series. With over 30 videos showing you how to find undervalued homes in your neighborhood and get them much cheaper than what they're asking for them. Some very simple, easy and inexpensive renovation tips to a home that could easily add tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the selling price. And also the little known selling strategies for selling your property much faster and for the highest amount possible, and a lot more. Go to my website now. It's www.findrenovatesell.com. My name is Peter Sun, and I'll see you there.